In a week that's seen N-Dubs reunite, Sugar Babes reunite, the Bill announced they're coming back, and the OC apparently turn up on ITV2, what better way to celebrate the year 2002 than a Friday night show of the CM0102 Super League? Fivey here, freshly recovered from Swindon failing in the playoffs last night. And I'm pleased to say I've got not one, but two co-commentators with me this evening. So first of all, good evening, Mr. Dimble.
Good evening, Fifey. Good evening, everyone. Fine day. I'm all right, mate. Yeah, just recovering from a very, very minor surgery this week, which I might give the details of later, but I feel good. A bit sore between the legs.
Yes, you were telling me off air about your minor surgery. I'm sure there'll be plenty of the community that will feel sympathy for you if you were to divulge a bit more information. Mr. Piers, yes, all of those things are true. N-Dubs announced on Monday they were doing a tour in November. Sugar Babes announced yesterday they were coming back. The Bill announced the end of last week that they were doing a reboot. And I've just been watching the OC on ITV Player because I got very excited that it was on TV again. But let's not dwell on external factors. Let's say hello to my second co-commentator. Good evening, the legend that is Mr. Alf Bridge.
Evening, everyone.
Good to have you with us. I think this is the first time you've managed to make it on since you got back into the league. So welcome.
It is. Yeah, I've not been myself for the past few months, but hopefully I'm getting there.
Well, we certainly hope you are. So let's kick off with that then, Alf. How is it? How has it been getting back involved? I know you wanted to be involved for a long time. You know, it wasn't your fault that you had to leave, and then it took a while to get back in. But happy to be back.
I'm happy to be back, yeah, and back with me old club. As we know, we've all got our clubs that we love, and this is mine. So I'm glad to be back there.
Good, and we are glad to have you back. You had a brief spell at Leddersford. How did you find that?
Well, it was okay because they actually got better players than we got. But I've actually managed to prize 2 or 3 away from them onto us, so they're not doing too bad. But we've got West Brown and Trevor West at the back there, so I was quite happy to get those 2.
Let's have a quick look at the league table then, Dimble. 6 games in. Haggis top of the league, 13 points. Fulchester a point behind there, still unbeaten, as are defending champions Dudley Hill, just a couple of points further back on 10. You find yourself just above the dotted line at the moment, but it's still early days, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I am happy with the start. I think, if I'm not wrong, the 6 fixtures that I played, I got 0 points from last season. So in theory, I'm kind of like 9 points up on where I was. But obviously, it don't really matter. But it's just a kind of positive thing where the fixtures that I hadn't got anything from last season are looking quite strong. I'm sure it'll go the other way when I start playing some teams that I did do well against.
And as for yourself, Alf, you said that you were happy, obviously, to be back at your beloved Astor Athletic. Again, early days. Consistently inconsistent, I think it's fair to say. 2 wins, 2 draws, 2 defeats, but you do find yourself a point better off than old club Leddersford.
Yeah. I mean, everyone predicted we finished 13 or 14, so I'm quite happy to be where we are. I think we've played most of the top 6 already. I'm not done too badly. In fact, conceding late goals in a couple of games, so we could have been 4 points better off. So not doing too bad.
And you had that mammoth win over Devils as well, of course.
Yes, and that's the same team playing tonight.
Dimble, when we look at the bottom of the table, obviously Gazelles, they haven't done too badly. A win and 2 draws in their first 6 games, considering most were tipping them to finish much like Alf, 13th or 14th. But when you saw the business that Dragons did, again early days, but down in 12th, goal difference of course, and Northern Burn still without a win. Does it surprise you that these 2 teams haven't started stronger?
Yeah, Burn have had some okay fixtures and not done well. Obviously got a team of superstars. Dragon have built a team that looks very, very good on paper, and Duggan's only got a little bit out of them so far, so disappointed.
Have you sorry mate, have you altered something since you last spoke? Because you've gone from being really clear to really robotic.
I don't think so. Sorry.
That's all right.
I'll move my phone away and do that.
No worries at all. Well, having a look at the fixtures for tonight, you have to think Fulchester don't let players go without reason, says Macca. Evening, Macca. Welcome. I know you're due to go to bed very soon, so we will try and get your game in as soon as possible. We'll obviously save the massive Churchtown versus Astor game to the end, those games permitting. Dimble, as the first co-com, is there any particular game you'd like to start with, or just let the computer decide?
Yeah, sure. Let's get on with it. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go indeed. And ironically, it wants to start with Churchtown versus Astor. So we'll just move to the next team down, and that sees us go to Bostock Stanley versus Spartak Sloths. And this is the away side, Alf. So we'll let you look at all the away sides tonight, Alf, and we'll let Dimble do the home teams. It makes sense given your fixture. So Sloths have made a tactical alteration. From last time out, they had 3 DMs with 2 up top. Now they're going 2 DMs with 3 up top. Tolly coming in for one of the P squad, wasn't it? Pereira. Sloths have, they're down in 11th. But as we keep saying, they've only lost 2. They're scoring goals. Yes, they're conceding, but they've done relatively well and perhaps deserve more than just the 1 win so far this season.
Yeah. As you say, scoring, conceding, and that lineup suggests why to me. They're going forward, maybe far too much. It's okay, but I think he may have to tighten up his defence a little bit.
Okay. A player you know very well, Christian Kivu, at the heart of that defence.
Yeah, he's fine. He can also play as a DM. And I've used him there occasionally myself, but he's pretty solid. He gives you the 7s on a regular basis.
Last time out, obviously you got up close and personal. Although you, unfortunately, due to the technical issues, you missed the very end of the game. It was an 85th minute Tolly equaliser that cost you the 3 points. And your old friend Wayne Oldham in charge.
Yeah, I still didn't see the end of that game, and it's the first time I've seen that late goal. But again, I think in the previous game, I think I made the same mistake, or I couldn't do it this time. He's bringing a substitute on for perhaps a tighter player, and I might have done this time after what happened before. So, as I said, that could have been 4 extra points. But I don't think I'll make that mistake tonight. If somebody's tired, I'll be bringing a sub on.
As for the home side, Dimble, they were involved in that entertaining 3-2 win over Dragons last time out. And they line up a couple of alterations. Sylvester comes in at defensive midfield, which allows Live to go back into his more prominent holding midfield role. He's partnered by Prutton. Welsh continues in centre midfield. And the attacking trio remains as was.
Yeah, Scott's to the quietest start. Sorry, that's not what about it. Scott's to the quietest start of the season, but I think he'll be happy enough to be kind of in a mix. I think his side's pretty settled now once he's got his main men back in Live and Welsh and Jacks. Cafe 94% at his age will worry me, even though it's still high. He's just one of them who might retire really quickly tonight. But yeah, Scott's the top manager, and I think there's almost confidence past that team.
Oh, absolutely. I always think that this Bostock team is capable of plenty. So, prediction time for the first time this evening. Dimble, you first?
Slaughter to open. I think it'll be 3-1 home win.
3-1 home win. How about yourself, Alf?
I'll go for 2 apiece.
2 apiece. Lovely job. Let's kick off game number 1. Goals predicted 4 apiece, in essence, from our co-commentators. And Carlos Shax on 3 minutes opens the scoring for the home side. Just the start Scott would have wanted. Evening, Mr. Edwards, who's just joined in the chat as well. 28 minutes now on the clock. And there's a red card for Spartak Sloths. And, a goal down and a man down. Let's see if Hodgie is floating around in the background to make a tactical alteration. Dimble, what would you be doing in this situation? Obviously, they've got the 3 men up top. Would you be pulling maybe Amoroso or Tolly back? Or would you be looking at the bench and looking at Danielson and Rosicki as well? Or possibly even Pedrinho moving back and Tolly just dropping down?
Yeah, for me, Pedrinho left wing and Tolly or Amoroso dropping the back to make a 2 and a 1 at the top end. But yeah, with it being early, I wouldn't take mix up. I prefer Nielsen on that left wing. But maybe that's something you could do later on if he's around.
Yeah. No, makes perfect sense to me. Mr. Piers pointing out in the chat that Jacques is on fire right now. It's hard to disagree. Alf, yourself, obviously there's been a few occasions looking back at last season where you've had to deal with men being sent off. You already said it was too open. Would you be looking at putting somebody back down to balance the equation here?
Yeah, I'd be putting Pedrinho wide and Tolly back.
So you're both in agreement on what to do.
I think he did say he'd be watching it later on, so it didn't matter to us. Maybe he's not here. Yeah.
So as you were both in agreement, we will just do that.
Yeah.
But that does allow Scott, who is in the chat, because we saw him join just as we were hitting kickoff, to make any tactical alterations he'd like to respond to that. I don't think he will. This is a pretty settled tactic for Rostock. We will give Scott the opportunity. Again, you were mentioning, Dimble, it is early in the game, so you'd probably not be wanting to.
No, if it was 0-0 a bit later on, then he'd be pushed on a bit more, but he doesn't need to, does he? I think if he stays like this, he should pick them apart.
And he has said roll. There's 4 minutes being added on at half-time, and Torres scores, but it's been ruled out for offside. And Tolly goes up the other end, and just before half-time levels things up for the 10 men. Controversial moments at Squirrel Park as Torres has a goal ruled out for offside, and 10 men Sloths go up the other end and score. Despite the man disadvantage, Alf, it's been a very even game.
What a great call by the comms team. Yeah, it's quite even. Yes, doing well, Slops.
Doing well indeed. Well, let's have a look at Scott's stats first. He's already said roll without even looking at it, so he's fairly content with how things are going. You mentioned Cafu, he's dropped to 85% in that first half. Is that the only sort of area of concern that you see there?
Yeah, I wouldn't be changing it right now because he's got an assist in his locker, hasn't he? So I'd be sticking with it if I was Scott as well, and then looking to push on 60 if it's still like this. But what a start Shane Toller's had to his Sloth's career. I think that's his definitely second goal, maybe his third.
Well, it's successive games, that's correct.
Yeah, he might develop more into a good thing for Hodgie, which I wouldn't have took that gamble because he looks a bit poor in terms of his all-round games, and they will definitely finish it.
Martin saying 10 men curse, can Scott lift it in the second half? His money is on Jacques getting another. Yes, you are still quite echoey, Dimble. I don't know if you're able, if you know what's altered, because you were crystal clear at the very start, and all of a sudden it's just gone. We'll restart the second half, go to the tactical break around the 60-minute mark, which we're already approaching. And there's an injury on 62 minutes, so the perfect time, really, as we were stopping it anyway. Prutton injured Alf. Guigu, the obvious choice here. But again, with it being against 10 men, do you think Scott changes it up and goes a bit more attacking?
No, I don't think he has to do. No, I think he made the change as suggested, I think.
Change as suggested. It is the obvious change, in my opinion. While we just wait for Scott to confirm that change, just a quick look at the Sloth stats, as we know Hodgie isn't here. If you were in charge of this Sloths team at the minute, Alf, would you be altering anything at the tactical change mark?
I'm just looking at the fitness of Parthenoff.
Yeah.
79. I'd be thinking about, and he's only got a 6. I don't know what his alternative is to bring on, though.
Desai would be the obvious one.
Yeah, that's a possibility. Then we'll see what he does about it.
Well, Scott's confirmed Guigu, nothing else changing tactically, so we carry on with the game and see if that injury alters proceedings at all. Raoul has given given Stanley the lead again. It's 2-1. to the home side, back with the goal and man advantage. We now have an indirect free kick as Zé Roberto now on the ball. Coming forward, gets past Lamy, is fouled, moving towards the final 10 minutes. And here come Bostock again. And Torres, well saved. And it's a corner. Easily cleared by Sloths. Moving into the final 5 now. Have the 10 men got anything left in them? One last chance maybe. They scored late in the first half. Can they score late in the second? We're into injury time. The answer to that question was no. And Dimble, we reached full time of the first game of the evening, and it's finished Bostock Stanley 2, 10-man Sloths 1.
Yeah, it's that sounds like. Why is it?
That's quite clear now. Yeah, that's fine.
I can hear it like 3 times in my headphones. Anyway, sorted. I think. Yeah, it's a good performance from Scott. It doesn't look amazing 2-1 win on paper against 10 men, but it's a solid win. He's created more chances. He'd be very happy with that and just roll on to the next game, like he likes to say, roll. And the irony of Ian Haggis having a go at me for audio problems is funny after he's done a show on a bus with crackheads around him.
Ashley Live getting man of the match, back in his sort of preferred position. Zé Roberto doing what Zé Roberto does. You said, Dimble, that Bostock had sort of gone about their early season business quite quietly, but this is them at their scintillating best, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the Ashley Live show. Zé Roberto doing his key pass magic. Yeah, it's good.
Scott pointing out the performance of Jacques again as well.
Yeah, there's a couple of very good performances in there, and a couple that he'd want a bit more out of maybe, but in general, it's very, very solid. As Fifey's cat goes over the shoulder.
And Alf, as for Sloths, it was always going to be difficult with 10 men. There's a couple of 5s in there, which is never great. But Nick Matulin putting in an excellent performance, keeping his side in it.
Yes, it's Bostock came strong in the second half there, but I think he might have made the same mistake as I've been doing, not made a sub half and off. He scored shortly after, didn't he?
And that's always the danger when you're unable to watch the show live. Yeah. But congratulations to Bostock as we move on to Locomotive Boston versus defending champions Dudley Hill, and we're with the home side first, so Dimble, chance for you to look at it. Ola Sederby unavailable against his parent club, of course, being on loan. Last time out, Loco lost to Leddersford, but Montella is back in the team and has scored 3 since his return, so it's always a danger. And this kind of looks, by Greavesy standards, I've put them two the wrong way around, attacking.
It does, yeah. It's got like 4 players in the attacking part of the pitch, which is very odd for him. He's completely reliant on Montella, isn't he? Which is concerning for him. But I quite like this shape. I do actually like those players in those positions as well.
Is this something you played last year?
I have played this. I've played the 2 MCs more often, but yeah, I did play this a few times. It's got some good players for it, and especially when you're struggling to get something out of your 2 AMs, if you can do that and still remain solid, then you become a better team, in my opinion. So it's worth a shot for Greavesy. See if he can create a few more chances.
Martin suggesting he thought it was a bluff. Loco took some criticism last year, but started the season quite well with 3 wins. They have had 2 defeats though, but they are inside the top 6, so definitely a team that people are going to have to watch out for, Dimble. Alf, let's have a look at the defending champions. And first of all, we're giving people the chance, and as it's your first appearance since returning, how happy were you for Dudley last year to go on and win it?
Well, yeah, very pleased and well deserved. So it's a bit of a shocker to what's happening now, really.
As for their team, they keep the same shape that has become their familiar story. They make 2 changes. Andy Johnson comes in for Joey Goodjohnson, and Nicky Ferenko comes in for Adolfo.
Yeah, the team looks quite solid, really. Might be thinking about pushing the 2 win-backs further a bit higher, but that's about the only change I'd make.
Okay. Last time out, they had that draw with the Devils, which cemented their claims of being very much a top 6 side and not a flash in the pan. So let's see how they do. Your turn first this time then, Alf, for a prediction, please.
I'll go for a double to turn it round. A draw. We'll get a draw out of this. Turn it round.
Okay. And Dimble?
2-1 away win.
2-1 away win. Let's see. And it's Loco looking for the early goal this time with the first couple of attempts. Here come Dudley Hill. Saviola very much involved himself, and there's Arca and Johnson combining. Zamnoni and Petit putting in the work. Fear that might backfire for Loco. Thuram opens the scoring on 23 minutes for the away side. But Loco have responded quite well. They need to be careful though, because when Dudley are coming forward, they're looking very, very dangerous. And it's a yellow card for Scholes. I believe that was for handball. And Tony misses a volley. Corner kick to the away side. And there's Montella on the stroke of half time, but he fails to convert. And the first half ends 1-0 to Dudley Hill. Match stats wise, Loco was certainly creating Dimble, and it's just a case of Montella needs that one clear cut chance.
Yeah, it looked like he might have it there, didn't it? Yeah, he's a class striker, but like I say, Greaves has been completely reliant on him recently. So if he doesn't score, then I think they will lose this match.
I have a feeling, do I remember right, was it Greavesy or was it Rob that's on a piss up tonight and isn't watching live?
I think Greavesy might be here.
I feel I might have said hello to Greavesy already.
Yeah, he certainly was right at the start anyway.
I will just double check to be sure. Community chat. Oh yeah, it's Rob that's in London. So as for there's Greavesy confirming as well that he's watching. Just as I was looking through the stats, the thing that stands out, you were referring to the AMs, Dimble, and Scholes and Cassano aren't really seeing a great deal of the ball, are they?
No, that's really poor from all three of them. Not doing enough, and that's the problem when you've got kind of low quality AMs. What can you do to get around it? And obviously this isn't working so far, although he has created some chances, so maybe it's just a case of sticking those in the net.
I don't know about you, but I would be alerted to the condition. Although Petit is a key player, 82% at half-time when he started on 100% is not ideal.
No, it's probably a potential injury, and he's an old man now, isn't he? So he might need to take care of him. But he's a key player, so is it worth the risk? It might be.
Steve Wright disagreeing with your earlier comments, saying that Cassano ain't a low quality AM. Greavesy keeping it as is, and if Petit dies, he dies. Alf having a look here at Dudley Hill. Do you think Steele be overly concerned by what he's seen? There's certainly a better share of the ball you're seeing here in terms of passes.
The tackling's impressed me. So if they can avoid a red card, they can get a result out of this. Fitness-wise, they're very good as well.
Tato, agreeing with your earlier comment, Dimble, all of Greaves' AMC's a wank.
Yeah, and Steve's had the chance to sign Cassano about 8 times and he's never pulled the trigger. And that's Steve we're talking about, so he can't be that good.
Steve did sign the worst version of Nicky Ferenko ever seen on Champ as well, to be fair. He goes as is, so we continue to the tactical break, which has already come. These two playing out a real dull affair here. So we go to the home side again. At this stage, Dimble, do you think Greasy needs to mix it up a bit, even if it's just like maybe pull Del Vecchio and Cassano wide with diagonal arrows? Petit's fitness continues to drop. Del Vecchio's is now dropping as well.
Yeah, the way that 25 minutes just disappeared, he's got to do something surely. A couple of players struggling fitness wise. I would change something, but I don't know what, to be honest. Knowing Greavesy, he'll probably go strikerless.
And it would probably work as well.
It probably would, yeah.
We'll just wait for confirmation from Greavesy. Scholes to MC with an arrow. Lusenhoff for...
That'll be Manu Petit, that. Yeah, it'd be Manu.
Yeah, so right. Like that. And then I think he wants it kind of like that. And then Steve's tried to get me to sub the goalkeeper for a midfielder, and then a midfielder for a goalkeeper. Greavesy confirming the diagonal arrow. So yeah, I think this is what he's going with here.
Yeah, that shape did me well, but I think I had better players in those positions. The three, midfielder and AMs.
Given we've just seen all that time elapse, what's Rui Costa got to do to get in this team?
Tackle, I think that's. I think he played a game, didn't put any tackles in, so he's dropped forever. That's how it works in the locomotive dressing room.
Mark Van Bommel taking the captain's armband. As for Dudley Hill, Alf, they do. I was just checking that I hadn't missed anything in that time lapse. They do still hold the lead, so Steve won't be too concerned, I don't think. But when you see the subs, would you be altering anything?
No, the net is a bit more fit. Well, you've got to keep him on. No, it's as long as he doesn't avoid a red card, I think he's going to get the result.
It would certainly appear that way at the moment. Depending on how he wanted to approach it, obviously Gary Neville would be the defensive cover if he wanted to make it more solid. Johnson coming out for D'Alessandro if he wanted to just offer that bit more creativity. In fact, we're getting D'Alessandro coming on, but for Nicky Forenko. Surprised by that, Alf?
Yeah, it could well work out, fresh legs. So, it could be a good pick.
Well, let's see if it does work out, and we'll be prepared for a load of time to elapse again as the home side come forward, and 10 minutes do go by with nothing happening. And there's Luca Toni with a header, but it's saved and it goes out for a corner. Have Sloths been on yet? Yes, you just missed it, Hodgie, I'm afraid. They were the first game of the evening. It was an entertaining game too. D'Alessandro with an opportunity there. And Loco need the ball in attacking areas to try and get back into this game. Can't wait to fuck Nicky off to the reserves after game 10, says Steve. As we go into injury time, and the defending champions remain unbeaten with a Greavesy-esque 1-0 win away at the master of the shithouse. Alf Steele will be absolutely delighted, won't he?
Well, that's well deserved. Yeah. All the stats are fine. Yeah, good performance from all the players, should think, when you look at the stats.
And Dimwell, do you think Greavesy will applaud Steve for the manner of the victory?
He's been tactically outclassed, hasn't he? Beaten on his own patch, so I think he needs to admire Steve's work there.
And when you see the stats, I mean, Montella is clearly the main man. He's had 4 of the 7 attempts, only 2 on target. He's still rated a 9, decent pass completion record, and winning a lot in the air. Just not getting the support from the AMs, was he?
Yeah, he's had a good game. He's been busy, but he's just not put it in the back of the net. So I think that's the only thing he's there to do. So Greavesy don't give a fuck about his headers won and stuff like that. He just wants him to score 1 or 2 goals, and he hasn't. So he'd be probably dropped or something. I don't know.
And Alf Zanetti putting in a stellar performance to get man of the match. But look at the performance of the 4 attacking players, Tony, Saviola, Nicky Forenko and Johnson, all rating 6s.
Yeah, but he got his defence right, and that's what counted in this match.
It did indeed. The clean sheet, absolutely vital. Congratulations, Steve. Commiserations, Greavesy. As we move on to a massive, massive game towards the bottom of the table already. And Northern Burn entertaining Ledisford. Home side up first on this occasion, Dimble. And there are changes. Hoffland still unavailable. Cliver injured as well. Sees Northern Burn freshen it up a bit. And this is what he's going with. And the most interesting thing for me is that sort of front 2, if you like, of Lopez in support of Brozek.
It's an interesting change-up, isn't it? And I think, obviously, he needs to do something, so I don't blame him at all. This formation should kind of dominate the midfield. There's no point in kind of putting 2 players up against Ndiaye and Scally if it's those 2 there, so maybe this might work, keeping them away from him a little bit more. But yeah, it doesn't look as strong on paper when you take out Cliver and Robin from an AMC role, and obviously losing Contra and Sigalko. It doesn't look as scary, but it's still very, very solid in the middle and at the back.
They do
Very
have
solid.
to. A squad this good does have to win eventually, doesn't it?
It should do, yeah, and it should go on a run. That's why I was so scared of playing them last week. But obviously, it didn't work out for them last week. But yeah, they will turn up and beat someone convincingly soon because they've got some very good players. And obviously, Ian has got tactics that have worked before, so it's not like he doesn't know what he's doing. So I think there's a win around the corner. I just hope for his sake it's not too long.
Alf Tato saying in the chat, Burn will dominate the midfield because they don't play with one, and there is the evidence of that. They're still playing without the central midfielders, keeping that sort of asymmetric formation. Ronaldinho and Chonso in support of Van Nistelrooy and Galletti, and the players that Dimble was mentioning there, Scallion and Dye playing that pivotal defensive midfield role.
Yeah, it's unusual formation. Probably not something I'd play, but it could cause a surprise. The opposition might not be able to handle that. Yeah, we'll see, but yeah, it could cause a surprise.
And a couple of players that you're familiar with from your time there, who should we be looking out for?
From the Saroy and the extra barrier, good players. And Ronaldinho, of course. Yeah, so yeah, they've got 3 key men there that could do the job.
Well, let's go. And thankfully, it's not gone to a ghost game again. So, Dimble, you're up first this time. A prediction, please.
I think Burn might sneak this one. I'm going to go with 2-1 just because of the open nature of Leddersford. 2-1.
Okay, 2-1. Alf?
I'm going to Leddersford to win this 1-0 because of the unusual formation.
Excellent. Let's see which one of you are right predicting. And Leddersford take a very early lead for Ndai, 16 minutes on the clock. And certainly not what Ian would have wanted to see is Leddersford taking the lead with essentially the first attack of the game. Burn coming forward. But Leddersford have gone 2 up. It's Van Nistelrooy. And what is going on at Northern Burn? The wheels have firmly come off the former champions. It could be a long evening already as Leddersford come forward looking for a third. Van Nistelrooy misses the opportunity on the stroke of half time as the whistle blows, and Leddersford, Dimble, have been running riot. What is going on at Northern Burn?
Who the fuck knows? What is this game about? I don't get it. Yeah, I don't get how they've been so bad. I really don't. It's puzzling, and I feel for Ian a bit because he's the legend of the Super League, and it's not nice to be sat on 1 point after potentially 7 games.
Well, let's have a look at how they've been so bad. Their 2 forward players have not had any of the shots. In fact, their defensive midfielder is one of the players that's had a shot. So clearly from distance, because they're not getting any joy with that front 2. The wing backs are not really doing anything out wide. Even the centre backs are putting in average performances, and they're 2 of the standouts in the league generally. Vieira and Keane, the pick of the bunch as they normally are, but even they're not excelling. They're just doing kind of what's expected of them.
Yeah, I'd be looking to change something up here again, even if it's just moving players around. I think he needs to do something, otherwise. Let us for the winners by 3 or 4.
At 2-0 down, would you be maybe looking and saying, okay, play Lopez and Brozek as a 2 behind, sacrificing somebody in that midfield and bringing on young Asonwa up top as an outside striker?
Asonwa could kind of move some bodies around, can he? I think he's a strong lad and that. So yeah, it might be worth just doing that to see if he can disrupt the old man, Chris Perry.
Leddersford, on the other hand, Alf, have been absolutely exemplary tonight. I mean, look at that. Gallardo already rating a 9. You've got Ndai already rating a 9. A few 8s dotted in there as well for the likes of Taibbi and Van Nistelrooy. Mr. Potato will be very, very happy.
He will. That's a good performance. And I think, as I said, I think the formation, Burn have not been able to cope with it.
Would you be considering Galetti's fitness there at 77 and maybe bringing on Rayed or Constantinu?
Yeah, I'll be doing that, certainly on the hour mark anyway.
Potato believes that condition is a myth, doesn't he? So if he does, then he's a hypocrite.
Well, Tato has gone same as until 60 please, then changes is the word. Ian's still frantically deciding what to do with his side. The man who doesn't make changes may be forced into doing one just to stem the flow of this game. And here is the confirmation just come through there. So we've got a Sunworth for Lopez alongside Brozek. It'd be that way around, wouldn't it? And then Robin in behind with an arrow. Emerton on at right back. Can you just confirm, Ian, are you leaving these two like this, or do you want Vieira moving over to balance it? If we can just have that confirmation come through. But Ian's certainly reacting there, Dimble.
Yeah, I think it's the right move in the situation. Someone might do something. He's kind of outside of the Burn DNA, isn't he? He's come in. He might just do something a bit different.
No, absolutely. And you mentioned in terms of his physicality, strength 18. Solving that, proving that point. Sorry, heading 20. Certainly going to be putting himself about. Although bravery only 8, so he's got the tools, but maybe doesn't want to use them.
Possibly not. No, he's a big fast lad. So yeah, he's got a chance to do something. I think. Keep Totti arrow, yeah, 1 arrow, which is interesting as well. I quite like to see that.
Bigger arrows on fullbacks was a very late call there as well. So Ian's certainly trying to do plenty at half time. Let's see how that works out for him as we head towards the tactical changes on 60. Perhaps someone carrying a knock there, I think, for Ledesford as Burn come forward, and then 10 minutes fly by. Yellow card handed out. We've got 25 minutes, give or take, left of this game. Burn have slowed Ledesford down, but they haven't managed to get themselves back into this yet. Youngberg, the only outfield option. Do you sacrifice somebody else to bring him on, whether it be a Keane or a Vieira?
I'd say not. I don't think Lundberg's a better player than you've already got on the pitch. So, in my opinion, I'd keep it unless he's wanting to keep Totti away from getting a red card just to save him. That's the only reason I would see doing that.
The only change is an arrow on Vieira, pushing more players forward. Tato says, fuck condition, he only wants to see match ratings. So there they are. Ronaldinho, surprisingly given Ledesford strong attacking intent, Alf, only rating a 6.
Yeah. You never know. He's always like to spring up with a goal. So, he could finish up with a 7 or 8.
Could finish up with a 7 or 8. Well, we will soon see. I fully expect to see Constantinu coming on, possibly Rayed, just to freshen things up for the remainder of this game. But Ledesford continue to impress. Can you see them keeping this lead, or do you see it extending, or Burn coming back into it, Alf?
I think Ledesford get another goal.
You think they could extend the lead?
Yeah, maybe through Ronaldinho.
Well, we shall shortly find out once Mr. Piers has decided if he wants to make any alterations. If this was to stay like this, Dimble, and Burner without a win in their first 7 games, are we already kind of writing them off for the season?
Yeah, just because the amount of points they would have to kind of rack up in a short space of time, it's near enough impossible. You have to get kind of 30, 37, 38 points from, what would it be, 19 games? It's nearly impossible unless you go on like a Devils-like run. It's going to be very, very difficult.
So we had Dino swap with Galletti, so he's now up there. Paredes on for Galletti and put him central DMC, so there's Paredes in there. Attackers should be centralised also. So yeah, I believe that is correct, and we go with that. So it's Ledesford who have made the tactical change, just an arrows alteration for Burn. That's a joke, Tato, says Steve. There's no point slowing this one down just at the moment unless Burn can create some late drama. And it looks like Leddersford are the more likely as we head towards injury time.
That's what Rafa would have done, by the way.
And no further goals. Burn were not able to do it in. The hypocrisy, says Ian. We've got to full time, Alf, and Leddersford did maintain their lead and have picked up a massive 3 points against Northern Burn.
Yeah, very good performance. Dominated the game. Used his tactic to advantage and then changed it when he wanted to stitch the game up. Very good.
And as for we've been saying it all the way through that game, Dimble, but how does Ian sort this out? The players are there to be performing to a much higher standard. They're just not doing it.
Yeah, it's a difficult one. It's not working at all, is it? And he's tried a couple of different things already. Do you play it safe and just stick with what you know, or do you go outlandish and try something really odd, which probably won't work as well? If I was him, I would stick to similar to what he's doing. I wouldn't go all Steve Wright and go wingers up to the forwards and free strikers and stuff like that. But he definitely needs to have a good think about it, and hopefully he'll get out of it. I'm not going to stick the boot in though. Ian's a good guy, and I'm sure he'll pull it round.
And he's a man that's experienced this before, so he'll know what it takes to get out of this rut. Alf, we look at the away side there. We mentioned them at half-time, but Gallardo and Ndai putting in absolutely superb performances tonight.
Yeah, you look at those races. It's an excellent team performance all round. Mm-hmm. Everybody did a job. Can't fault that at all.
Cannot fault it at all. Congratulations to Tato and happy birthday, sir. The perfect present for you. Lad, you hate beating one of the strongest squads. Fuck off, says Steve. Commiserations to Ian. We're all confident that you have it within you to sort this out and turn it around. That brings us to Fulchester versus Dragons, and this could be one hell of a game, Dimble. The home side still without Figo and Beckham. Slight alterations throughout the squad from last time out, but still looking very strong, particularly combative in midfield with Gattuso. Interesting, Van der Vaart moves central for Nedved to go wide. Nicky Butt still in there as well. We have already seen that Dudley have remained unbeaten. This is going to be a big test for Fulchester, isn't it?
It is a big test, yeah. I like Nedved out there. I don't like Van der Vaart though. Not too keen on him. Quaresma was looking pretty crap when I had him, and I let him go in the auction. So to see him starting for a team like Fulchester is a strange one. But yeah, I said at the start of the season he was my prediction to finish first in the in Duggan's survey. Mm-hmm. But I think Macca's back with a bang, and he's taking it seriously, and that is a thing to be feared for the league, I think.
And we're hearing the news coming through the chat is that Duggan is still feeling ill. So we've got Mr. Wooder in the chat, and he'll be doing subs. So anything could be about to happen for the away side. Let's have a look at the away side, Alf. And as you can see, racked with absentees, you've got Uliano injured, Baumer suspended, Bishkan unavailable against his parent club. So there are changes aplenty as Dragons go back to their game week 1 formation.
Yeah, can I just ask Macca if he's going to name the baby after the first goal scored tonight?
I believe the baby may already have a name, but it would certainly be.
Always have another name.
It depends if Macca goes to register it after a few Peronis. It could still happen.
Yeah, the Dragons formation is fine. I think if you get something out of this, wouldn't surprise me if you want it 1-0.
Wouldn't you think Dragons can win this 1-0?
Yeah, I think we could. Yeah, Macca's he's got 2 or 3, haven't he? Not quite 100%. I just wonder if he'll pay for that. Some say it's a myth again, this 100% thing, but he has got 3 playing who could lose fitness during the game, and Dragons might take advantage of that. So we shall see.
So, okay, well, Alf's gone 1-0 to Dragons there, Dimble. What are you thinking?
It's a Duggan tactic with Wooder tinkering with it, so I think it's going to go bad, and I think Fulchester will win. Well, I agree with Alf. It's 1-0.
You can see how this is going to go already. You've got Wooder announcing that Duggan's ill, so he's doing the subs. Then questioning why Caru's not on the bench, and the reason is because Duggan didn't name him. Duggan pops up in the chat saying "fuck Carew."
Oh, he's back, is he? Is he?
So Duggan's obviously been watching, saw Wooder pipe up and going, "No, fuck this."
Too right as well. You let that madman loose on your club.
Don't know what's going on, but Mac is predicting that his side's going to lose 4-1. Anything could be, well, it could be right because Veron in 2 minutes has opened the scoring for the away side. What on earth is going on already at the C-suite? Absolute scenes. Fulchester playing their way back into this. Duggan confirming Wooder will be making subs. Fulchester desperately already trying to get back into this. Wood is now having a personal conversation, and it's a red card for Buffon, and Dragons have a penalty. Major moment here. We know that Molina's coming on, Dimble, but who for?
That is massive. I think it would be Comandini, but then maybe he'll kind of tweak things. He could go 2 DMs and take Van der Vaart off or something like that.
I think it'll be Ronaldo and Comandini will drop back.
We've been being potentially 2-0 down there. I just think he might go a bit attacking still, but yeah, we'll see.
It is Comandini coming off, and Dragons have a penalty. So just for everyone's amusement, let's slow the commentary right down for it as Molina slowly rocks up at side with a penalty. And he does score. It was never in doubt. Dragons are 2-0 up on 40 minutes. As Fulchester have to now really work hard to find their way back into it. We get to half-time. And, it's not exactly been a Super League classic, has it, Dimble? But Dragons have taken full advantage of their opportunities.
No, it's been a bit shit. It's been a bit shit on it. There's been a red card and 2 goals, but it's still been a bit boring. But Dragons, this is a massive 3 points if they can hold on to this. They've had a bit of a patchy start, so to have 9 points, and to take Fulchester's unbeaten record off them at their place as well is no mean feat. So yeah, if they can hang on, it'd be massive for them.
Looking at this, again, considering the fact they've got 10 men, would you be altering it if you're Macca?
I think you have to, don't you? Now that you can, I think you have to, because if he doesn't, it's just going to kind of tick away, isn't it? So if I was him, I'd be doing something, and I'd probably put in Trezeguet on.
Ian saying Wood is at the wheel. Tate saying Dragons battered me 3-1 with this formation in week 1, and we all know how good I am, so they're going to be dangerous set up like this. Definitely thinking Trezeguet on would be an option. But having just sacrificed Comandini, you wonder who it would be for. And the change has been confirmed by Macca. We're doing Ronaldo off for Van der Laan. Put Nedved AMC and Van der Vaart left wing. So we're going a bit like this, Dimble. Do you understand why he's made that change?
He must be thinking try and control it and nick a goal and see what we can do. That's the only thing. I personally would have maybe sacrificed the midfield a little bit and gone 2 up front, but Macca knows what he's doing.
Wood has already confirmed no change without seeing, so just a quick glimpse here. Alf, anything catch your attention with the away side's performance?
Yeah, we just looking at Macca's team. I noticed there's several at our time were on 80-something% fitness. I just wonder if he's paying the price for that. As I mentioned earlier, playing 3 or 100%. Just wonder if it's took its toll. As for Dragons, pretty solid. I think they'll hold on to this now quite comfortably.
We'll move on to the tactical stage at 60 minutes. Fulchester with the first attempt of the half, and there's a second attempt, and Dragons got on the counter but failed to convert. So 61 minutes on the clock. It's Trezeguet time now, surely, Dimble?
You think so, yeah? Unless Trezeguet's done something to kind of insult Macca's family, then I imagine he'll be coming on right now.
I'm looking at that thinking, well, if I'm honest, the obvious one for me would be Van der Laan. He's the one that sticks out, but he's only just come on. Maka he's going straight swap. Trezeguet for Shevchenko.
Shevchenko has been poor, so if you can do a bit more, then maybe you can nick a goal. But you can't see that set up against Dragons who've been comfortable getting 2 or 3 goals, can you?
As for Dragons, you said you expect them to hold out at half-time, Alf. I imagine you've not seen anything to change your mind, but would you be altering the squad or tactic at any point?
Just Alco, perhaps, might be with a change, but apart from that, no, I think you hold on now.
We'll just wait for Wooder to confirm. And, well, he's giving Maka a chance to get back into this by bringing Zidane onto the pitch as he replaces Riquelme. Maka already saying sending off changed everything, farcical. So Zidane coming on.
I think even a Zidane 6 can't mess up the Dragons for me. Yeah.
No, he'll score. He'll score.
Alf saying he'll score. As the 10 men continue to come forward looking for a way back into this game. Evening Swanee, 71 now on the clock. And there's Trezeguet. Oh, he misses. Bowyer's been booked. And it's still all Fulchester as they desperately try to get back in. They want another penalty. And Saeed scores, and it's 3-0. A second penalty for Dragons. A second goal for Saeed. And
was it done brought down then?
Let's find out. As the full-time whistle goes, 3-0 it ends to Dragons. And yes, Molina clipped the feet of Zidane in the area, pointed to the spot.
Congratulations to Wooder. Yeah. Great result for him.
That's good management, Wooder. That's good at Zidane.
Wooder's confirming that Wooder's at the wheel. Mac is saying, what a fucking joke. This is an absolute disgrace, he says. Everyone's beating everyone. Carnage, says Tato. And no 10-men curse in this one. I mean, ultimately, the game was incredibly even, Dimble, for one where Dragons had the man advantage for well over an hour.
Yeah, and Dragons aren't creating a lot. That's 4 shots against 10 men, and 3 have gone in, so they've won today. But it's been quite a regular thing where they're not creating loads of chances. So it's a great result. Don't take it away from it. It's been a fantastic result. A little bit of fortune with it, but it is a bit worrying that they're not creating as much. And if they're only getting 4 shots on target a game, then they're not going to win many games.
Just seeing Mac is very much complaining. Dragons committing a robbery, saying that Fulchester were the better team. Steve confirming there were no fixed circles. Wooder telling him to shove it up him. It's not quite Tato. We are not beating anyone. Crucially, Alf, that leaves Dudley as the only unbeaten side in the league now.
Yeah. Well, Maka did predict 4-0, so he's got an inkling about this game.
Having a look at the home side then, it was always going to be difficult playing with 10 men, as we said in the other game as well. But decent ratings, really. That the players certainly put in an effort, Dimble.
Yeah, they kind of matched up, didn't they? It wasn't a one-way game after the sending off, but Dragons were very clinical. Obviously, 2 penalties helped that. Disappointing, but it's one loss in 7. So Fulchester will come back strong as long as the backup keeper's not an absolute clown. I don't know, is it Molina? Yeah. Is he? Yeah, he's not quite as good as Buffon, is he? But he's not bad.
So you get man of the match for his 2 goals from the spot, Alf. Having a solid, dependable penalty taker is critical, isn't it?
It is. Yes. I've been looking at that myself actually to bring one in the next game, not this one. But so yeah, that's a solid performance all around again. Goalkeeper right through the defence. Midfield, forwards all doing their job. So, well done, Duggan.
And when you think there's 1 or 2 players there who aren't exactly regulars, they've certainly given Duggan food for thought. Particularly, you're looking at the poll. He's come in and performed well. Scored 2 on his debut and continued to perform well here tonight. Even got an assist.
Yeah. 9 tackles, 1 as well. Yeah. Very good performance.
Congratulations to
Yeah, well done,
Dragons as
Duggan. Well done,
Maka
Duggan.
continues to complain about the officiating. Next up, another huge game as Devils entertain Haggis. We've got the home side here, Dimble. Last time out, they drew, as we saw earlier, with Dudley Hill. They've got Soroczynski injured. And the interesting news here, do you know what? I'll be honest, I think I was a bit lax this week. I don't even know if I was sending all the team news round. But the big news is Soroczynski's out for a long period and the manager has opted not to replace him with anyone until the next reserve swap. Nesta suspended as well. But there is a tactical alteration. So we've got Ayala partnering Montero. Deisler comes into centre midfield with the diagonal arrow. Zauri goes out to right wing back with Dyer into defensive mid. And then a front three of Henry and Penza and Kesman.
I'll be honest, I like bits of it, but I hate parts of it. Like Dyer DMC with that arrow, I don't like it. Deisler's not very good. And he's got Aymar sat outside the squad and Kewell on the bench. Is that right? Is Aymar unfit or is he just completely
doesn't play him? He's perfectly fine.
Madness. If there's any players in my squad you like, Rob, let me know and I'll swap you in for Aymar.
And it's also worth noting, and I'm putting this on public record because I think I've given enough warnings, and I don't normally call managers out, but this is another time, and it's not the only time, but another time where a manager has failed to name a subs bench, so I've had to fill it myself. If you don't name a subs bench from this point on, I just will play the game with no subs for you, and you run the risk yourselves because it's not hard to pick a subs bench.
Fair comment, yeah, fair comment.
Let's have a look at the away side, Alf, who currently sit top of the league. Have you been impressed by Haggis this season?
Yeah, he's very, very impressed. And that's I like the formation, and apart from Joe Cole, they're all 100% fit. Yeah, I think he'll go from strength to strength.
Yapstam a big absentee for this with Cordoba coming in.
I'm not sure what Cordoba's like on attributes.
There you go.
That's all right. Right, fine, he'll do a job. Yeah.
He will do a job. Last time out, it was that resounding win over Hulls, who had Rustico sent off after just 4 minutes. As you can see there, Yapstam absent because of his sending off on 80, but it was a very impressive professional job last time out by Haggis. Can you see them doing a similar job against Devils?
Yes. Yeah, I can do the same job. Exactly the same job.
Are you going to predict them to win 4-0?
Just 3 this time.
Just 3 this time. How about you, Dimble?
2-2.
2-2. Let's see which one of you is correct. As Devils have the first opportunity of the game and continue to come forward seemingly at will. But there's a yellow card handed out. Haggis still yet to get going. Montero picks up a yellow card. Free kick to Haggis. And now they're playing their way back into the game. Jeremies goes into the book. A couple of yellows handed out to both sides already in this game. As Cole comes forward and Ferguson comes forward. It's end-to-end, that's for sure. And it's Del Piero with his first goal for Haggis Hunters on 32 minutes that opens the scoring. And Haggis looking for a quick 5 second. Shouldn't you do that anyway? Shouldn't I do what anyway? Is Hodgie responding to the substitutes thing, do you think?
Maybe, yeah, maybe.
Possibly. We've reached half-time now, Alf, and the away side are winning 1-0.
Yeah, it's not much happening in the game there, is there, though? But they're doing the job. No, that's all I can ask.
Let's have a look at the home side first then. The free-up, you mentioned Deisler's not very good. He's not performing very well. But look, the name, the whole ethos of what the Devils are about seems to be getting stripped away because you look at these poor passing numbers. There's just not a lot of the ball being seen, is there, Dimble?
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it, that Rob had so much attacking intent with this rubbish Sloths team, and he's taken over the best, most talented team, first 11 in the league, and he's made it a bit boring, hasn't he? He's not creating that many chances. He's playing some odd players in weird positions or whatever. So yeah, I don't know if he's trying to just make his own stamp on it. Maybe that's probably what he's trying to do. But if he just played similar to what Hodgie did last year, he'd probably be top 2 easily.
Well, we know that Rob isn't here anyway, so let's go to the away side because Ian is here and may want to react to what he's seeing. But Alf, looking at those stats, he'll be quite content. Although, despite his goal, Del Piero's seen very, very little of the ball.
Yeah, but all in all, that's a good all-round performance. Fitness-wise, they're going to be okay for the second half. So no reason why they can't carry on and get another goal.
And that's exactly what they're doing, as Ian says, roll. So that is what we will do. Play to 60. And 50 minutes now on the clock. And here come Haggis again. Free kick given. Now Devils coming forward. Next goal is critical in this game. You do feel that there is going to be one. And it's Del Piero again. Makes it 2-0 to the away side. Oh, I've stopped it slightly early. We'll carry on. There we go. See, now it's too late. Always the risk. And Devils wants penalty. Referee says no. So we stop it on 69 minutes, Alf, and it's 2-0 to Haggis.
It's no reason to change anything at all there.
Do you be looking at Casas's fitness and thinking rest him up now, let Alan Smith have a run out?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, give Alan Smith a run out. Yeah, why not?
And obviously, with Rob not here, nothing will be going on at Devils. But would you have been mixing it up had you been in charge, Dimble?
I'd definitely would have been changing things. Yeah, but we know Rob, if he was here, he'd definitely be changing things. But he'd be putting kind of 3 up top and 3 AMs or something, wouldn't he? But completely outdone here by Haggis.
Well, and Penza scores his first of the season to turn this one around. As Martin says, stop the count, hand over the trophy to the Iron Brew boys. This game is not over yet. And Penza coming forward, but he's lost out to Jeremy's. Henri picks it up. Ferguson's fouled. Free kick given. Deisler takes it. Dyer has a go, but it's blocked. Mendieta now gets it to Viduka. And Smith, but it's well over from Smith. More compliments coming in for Haggis. This game isn't over yet, so we won't read those just yet. Corner kick to Devils. Ayala picks up and Penza's blocked by Jeremy's. Devils throwing everything but the kitchen sink at this now. Smith gets it. Viduka. 2 minutes to be added on. Del Piero picks it up on a hat-trick, of course. And Montero's been sent off. Again, not here. 2-0 down. 1 at the back. Are we in agreement?
Yeah.
That is what we will do. 88 on the clock. Del Piero takes a free kick, but it's off the wall. As we move into injury time, there's the full-time whistle. And Haggis take full advantage of Fulchester's slip-up and win away at title favourites Devils. And their impressive performances continue, Alf.
So he's done a solid job again. I thought with his formation, it looked right to the players. So, going from strength to strength.
Now getting opportunity to see what was going on in chat, and Tater saying Haggis quality again, back 3, best in the league, 4 in the middle to control games, front 3, can't fail with that, 8 behind them. Front 3 can't fail with the 8 behind them.
It's got that trio at the back is unbelievable, and he's obviously got Mendieta in front of that and a front line that's working. It's really, really good. But what will happen when they obviously get a suspension or an injury? That's the key thing to tag his chances of winning the league, and then when it gets to the playoffs as well, can they keep those players on the pitch?
Yeah, I'm just wondering if Devils are suffering from that morale from that heavy defeat by Astor.
No, I think Devils are suffering from the lack of quality from the new manager. Oof. Let's have a look at the Devils side. They did give a good attempt at it, Dimble. That second half, they seem to be throwing everything at it from sort of 65, 70 minutes onwards. But
they actually created loads. They actually created more chances, didn't they? And Haggis actually, if you look at the shots and stuff, a little bit fortunate. Devils are a hard team to contain, so to only concede 1 goal it just shows how solid they are at the back, Haggis. But Robs needs to have a little look at it and stop doing charity fundraisers for championship players and get on with managing his football team.
Yeah, I think Linda's right there. I mean, the players themselves were fine. It's just getting the right formation. I think he needs to do that.
Ian, don't sit on the fence, Fifey. Let's have a look at Haggis then. Del Piero getting man of the match out for his 2 goals. But plenty of other quality. I mean, look at the performance. Joe Cole was questioned by many people. He's playing well. Jeremy's doing a fantastic job. Casillas putting in a fine performance too.
Yeah, Jeremy's tackling again. 14, 11, 1. Brilliant tackling, yeah. He rarely gets sent off, does he?
Jeremy's? No, not really.
No. So, yeah, very good. But that was, again, another solid performance from every player.
Yeah, it's an impressive win again from Haggis, really. And he's had a great start, hasn't he? And let's hope it continues, because the league's a better place when Ian's doing well.
And that brings us to our penultimate game of the evening, which feels weird to say at just after 9:30. We look at the home side first, Dimble. John Cook Song, again unavailable as he's gone off to South Korea. Jens was very excited to bring him in, but has not been allowed to play him. The one game he has been available so far, he wasn't selected. Rustico suspended, as we saw earlier. So that sees Hull's lineup altered with the balls deep formation.
Yeah, it is a bit balls deep, isn't it? It seems a bit kind of last ditch from Jens already, and he's not had a terrible start to the season, but he seems to be kind of been jokingly, I think, saying that his season's over and stuff. But he's doing all right. He just needs to pick up a couple of wins, and he'd be right in the mix. He'd be right in the playoffs. So it's a strange one to go one at the back, but I think he wanted to stick it to Gazelles tonight. So that's understandable, and he's got very good players to back it up.
He has indeed. ZZ Roberts, big name, returning to the starting 11 here as well. Mac is saying bullshit, and Duggan's saying Swanee, clearly the signing of the season, up the Haggis. Let's have a look at the away side then, Alf, and see what Martin's come up with this time. We've gone with version 4 of this sort of familiar looking tactic. Madeira and Anelka playing as a 2, which is unusual for Gazelles. They don't normally play a 2. And Besadas continues in the centre of that midfield with Percy and Seydorf either side.
Yeah, formation is fine. Few players get all Besadas 92% fit. Not sure about that. Well, I see what. Yeah, there's not much wrong with that, to be honest. It could do well.
It could do well. Well, let's find out. I can't remember who I asked first in the last one. There's 7 games. It must have been Alf. So no, must have been Dimble. Alf, your prediction for this one, please.
I'm thinking of a draw, but Gazelles could sneak this.
Thinking of a draw, Gazelles could sneak this. How about yourself, Dimble?
I think it will be a home win, and I'm going to say 2-1 again. Let's
see if you are right. As a Gazelles putting on the early pressure, looking for a goal. But it's Crespo who opens the scoring on 18 minutes for the home team, giving Jens a much-needed lead. I believe Titus Bramble with a big job was the message from Martin prior to kickoff. Tomadira finds the net on 38 minutes. Martin saying, think I'll hand responsibility to my system for the next one. But we've reached half-time, 1-1. Again, not a classic, Alf, but Gazelles back in it.
Yeah, very easy. And I still think Gazelles could snatch it.
Let's have a look at the stats. And starting with the home side, Dimble. Quiet game, but Crespo doing what he's there to do.
Yeah, he's been all right. And how's he doing this season? Just have a quick on him, see what he's doing.
That's his 4th goal in 7 games.
Yeah, that's very acceptable, isn't it? He's looked all right for the last kind of 20 games. He's been playing well, and Zizi's been a decent partner for him so far. Yeah, I think Jens has got a very, very strong team, and he should have enough to get a win in this game. I've just messaged him to say he's on because he wanted to know when he was on. He's out. I think he's on the piss.
Oh, so, Jens is in the chat. We've
yeah, he's back. Sweet.
He posted while we were doing the preview saying, up the halls, motherfuckers. Let's have a look at the Gazelles team while we wait to see if Jens wants to change it up, Alf. As you said, you think they could still nick it. Still lots of 6s, but they seem to be seeing more of the ball than the opposition.
Yeah. No, it's I think he'll carry on really with that. Anelka, 85% fit, so he might fade in the next 12 an hour. You might be looking at that, but apart from that, yeah, he could well stick with it.
So you think they will stick as well? Just waiting for confirmations from both managers whether either want to change anything on this penultimate game of the evening. Remember, Super League will be back at its usual time of 9 p.m. on Sunday. This round of fixtures only postponed due to the EFL action playoffs yesterday, which was pointless. We might as well have just done this anyway. But on the subject of playoffs, good luck to Rob's Forest at Wembley next weekend, even though your fans are a fucking disgrace, just like the Port Vale ones. And good luck to Dimble's Grimsby as they go to Wales and to Nottingham and to just about everywhere else in the country for the hope of playing at the majestic county ground next season. Otherwise, Dimble and Alf will be having an all-dayer at Oldham. One fan, Fifey. No, there was one fan that headbutted Billy Sharp. There were other fans doing plenty of other untoward stuff.
Didn't the same thing happen in the FA Cup early in the season as well, where a man came on and tried to punch someone as well? So it's not just one fan.
There was a Leicester fan punch a Forest player, I recall, in the FA Cup.
Oh, was it that way around? Was it? Yeah. Okay.
While we wait for these managers who are taking longer than anybody else has tonight, on the subject of this, Dimble, clearly it's being highlighted as a football problem, which it is, but there's clearly a cultural problem. We were discussing it at work today, and I'm interested in your thoughts on it. You know, before we were even alive, if you like, that the 70s and 80s, there was the hooliganism stage. Then in the 90s and into the 2000s, sort of the new generation came through, and it wasn't eradicated as such, but it's certainly toned down. And now all of a sudden, the youth of today, primarily, and it's not just the youth, there's plenty of older fans, male and female, getting involved, but it seems to have come back and just become an absolute fucking farce again.
Yeah, it's been going on for a long time, Steve. Do you remember when Brian Clough once ran onto the pitch and fought about 4 fans, opposition fans? Remember that one?
No, a bit before my time, that, I'm afraid.
Yeah. The video on YouTube about that, and he sets into them all for them. Yeah.
And then he interviewed him on telly the next week, didn't he? And he basically said sorry to them on TV, but then made them apologise to him. Yeah. Hulls say leave it.
Both managers going stick. So we kick off the second half and go to the 60-odd minute mark. I've gone early again there.
To answer your question, Pfeiffer, though, it seems to be a societal thing. Drugs are too common, and it's going to carry on getting worse, in my opinion. Was that a red card or a goal?
That was a goal. That was a goal as we stop it. Hull's going 2-1 up. We'll come back to this topic because there are a few responses, including me tarnishing entire fan bases. I will go on record as saying the entire Port Vale fan base is a fucking disgrace for what the Swindon fans got put through last night and the Swindon players. But we'll come back to that. Hashtag no politics. So 2-1 on 63 minutes. Dimble. Hall's taking the lead at the tactical break. Do you think he will change it to try and hold the lead here?
Jens usually likes to make a change or two, so I think he will do. He doesn't need to, though.
Adani coming on for Gerrard and going 2 at the back.
So the balls have been removed from the Gazelle's orifice.
Indeed, they have. As for Gazelles, now a goal down again. Alf, would you expect Martin to make changes here?
Yeah. Who have we got for Anelka?
There's no obvious striking option. Pinardi, the only attacker.
Yeah. But Smerton. No, there's not much point in changing there. And it is there, really. Looking at that.
Not much point, says Alf.
No.
Martin saying piss take as he went 2-1 down as it came in. Mac is saying Stone Island and Brexit, lads. There's your root causes. Liam saying... where was it? Love Vieira, by the way. The fan shit his pants. Yes, Patrick Vieira, I believe, has received a fine for kicking a fan, although there is a suggestion that the fan was making racist remarks towards him, prompting Vieira to kick him. Correct, Dim, societal. That's exactly the point. It is a society issue. Penardi for Besaid has moved to AMC is the change from Martin.
Yeah, I was looking at that one myself, Steve. That could be a good move.
And Boateng coming on for Smertin is the other one.
Yeah.
Hersey at AMC with forward runs on. Thank me later, Martin, says Macca. No suggestion of that other than Alan Sugar saying it. Saying what? What? I've obviously forgotten something I've said here. So just confirm, Martin, if you want an arrow on Penardi, please. I don't think it didn't say anything about an arrow, but I know some people forget to mention the arrows.
Has he plenty of pace, Steve? Has he got plenty of pace?
Penardi?
Yeah.
16?
Not bad, yeah. Right, yeah. No, I'd leave it as he is. Not bothered an arrow.
There is a video by the fan who got decked, 0 racism. Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. It's just, to be fair, I was at work all day and just reading stuff on Twitter on my walk around at lunchtime. So if there's no racism, then Vieira deserves more than a fine, because essentially it's assault, I imagine.
There's been quite a bit of racism inside the Everton ground recently, isn't there? Well, definitely accusations of it. So it's not an outrageous thing to suggest.
Arrow on, says Martin. So there is the arrow. Very funny video, though. I will send the link later. Phone in his hand, tumbling around. If you run on the pitch, you deserve to get fucking decked, says Ian. We continue 2-1 up. Tactical changes done. Substitutions done. Gazelle's coming forward. A yellow card handed out as Hall's now looking to wrap this one up. Chance missed. Let's slow this one down. 77 now on the clock. Gazelle's come forward again. Throwing Yakubu, Penardi, and Elka. Costanzo dives on the ball. Approaching the final 10 minutes as Hall's come forward. Some of the comments knocking about are mad here, I think what we're really missing is congratulations to Rafa Benitez for amassing 50% of the points that kept the Everton up. And Anelka, surely it hits the post and goes wide. 3 minutes to be added on. Have Gazelle's got one more chance left in them. CC Roberts with the header. Kandaya, and there's another one. Barthez manages to get it away. Hall's piling the pressure on. We go into injury time. Statue of Lampard, says Smacker. Penardi goes close. It skims the bar. So they've hit the post and the bar in the final 10 minutes. And now Zizi Roberts Crespo goes past Bramble. Barthez does well. Dede picks it up. One last chance, maybe. Boateng. Toe Madeira. Still Madeira. And Hersey. Free kick to Gazelles. Madeira to take it. Campbell clears it. And there is the full-time whistle. Hall's Vikings 2. Gazelles 1. Fair play to Gazelles. They gave it a go, but a big win that Dimble for Halls.
Yeah, and it puts him on 10 points, does it? Which I think at the moment would see him into the playoffs for the 6th place. So yeah, it's good. It's a big win. If he didn't win that game, then he's going to be absolutely furious. He's going to be saying the season's over and all that stuff. So it's a big one for Jens, and a little bit unlucky from Gazelle's point of view, I think.
Let's have a look at the Gazelle stats first this time. Alf, Barthez with a fine performance, back to something like his best.
Yeah, good performance. I thought. Feel sorry a bit for Martin there. He put a lot into that game. Yeah, I thought he could have got something out of it, but unfortunately, it's not going for him. He's not that far away, I don't think. Not that far away. Just needs to tinker a little bit with his formation. He's not far away.
Okay. Crespo picking up man of the match, Dimble, but solid ratings all round. Kandaya, as always, a standout player as well.
Yeah, very solid all round. No one's let him down. He's got some good big performances from key players. Candela has been absolutely class. Not many people have spoken about him, but he's been brilliant for last kind of season, like end of last season and start of this season. I think he's done all right as well. So very good player. Just a good performance. And Sean Davis, didn't want to let him go, but I had to do something at the time, and I regret that one. To be honest, I wish I still had him in my squad.
Yeah, it's a good performance. And if you've got Crespo, that goes a long way, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And that brings us to the main event of the evening. Churchtown managed by one of my co-commentators this evening, versus Astor Athletic, managed by the other. One at the start of the evening sitting 6th, one sitting 7th. Both scored 9 goals. Dimble conceded 1 less, 6 versus 7. Virtually identical records. This could be a great game. Dimble, talk us through your team, please.
Yeah, it's the same tactic as last week. It's got one change with old man Mills dropping to the bench and Mendes da Silva back from suspension. So that, in theory, makes us a bit stronger. But I'm really happy with, apart from maybe Tomasi's not done much this season, I'm really happy with everyone else in the team so far. Brugging had a slow start, but I think he'll come good. Yeah, it's the best team I've got on paper. So that's why I've just kind of no nonsense this week and just stick it in with those players and see what happens.
And Alf, what stands out for you in this team as a concern?
Well, my old boy Brugging there. Tomasi, I might have on the other side, but apart from that, yes, they're all fit, so it's looking pretty strong. Zambrotta there, I'm going to have my work cut out here.
Very even record between the two sides historically.
Yeah, if you look at it as well, the one of them's a friendly. So if you take that friendly out of it, it's identical goals difference and points head to head with Astor. So it's very, very tight historically.
As for Astor, then Alf, you're without Emre, who is still injured. But you go, as you said earlier, with the team that beat Devils a few weeks ago.
Yeah. This could be the last chance on this formation. I've been tinkering out some other ones on home says, but it's not done bad this season, so I'll stick with it. Let's see what it goes. It's rather hit and miss. Hoping today can be the hit.
Dimble, Astor have suffered some late drama in recent games, potentially a fitness issue or a concentration issue. But have you? Do you think your players have it in you to play to the end?
Always, we always play to the end. We might not be great until the end, but we always play until the end.
I will, as always, I won't ask either of you for a prediction for this one. Just wish you both the very best of luck as we kick off the final game of game week 7, Churchtown at home to Astor Athletic. Franca going close early within the first minute or two there. Astor starting very quickly. Louis Zhao with an opportunity that time. Khan working very hard. Khan's been sent off on 9 minutes and Astor have a penalty. Oh, we got scenes.
Yes, I would have changed the penalty taker this week. I would have done to Liverani, but see what happens.
So, first of all, Dimble, what are we doing here? Headman coming on?
Headman on for... We'll go Brugging and we'll just go 1 AMC with no arrow, please.
Behind?
Yeah. That'll do for
Alf,
now.
you're allowed to make a tactical alteration with the red card. Apologies to Dragons, I forgot to offer you that when in your earlier game.
No, we'll stay.
Okay. As again, we will slow it down for the penalty. Headman coming on as we saw for Brugging. Rossini steps up and scores to give Astor the lead inside 10 minutes.
Just as well as the change it.
A yellow card for Terry this time. As Astor come forward again. And go 2-0 up with Liverani on 23 minutes. And very, very little reaction to anything going on by either of the co-commentators, I have to say. The least animated co-commentators I've had for a long time when watching their own game.
I think we're shot, Steve. I think we're both shot.
Half-time is blown by Mark Hester, and it is Churchtown 0, Astor Athletic 2. Dimble, how do you react to what you've seen in that first half?
That's a good performance from Astor. I don't think we've done a massive amount wrong apart from obviously get the red card.
Let's see what the red card was for there. As Macca says, here we go again, ridiculous week.
I was due one. I've not had a keeper sent off in Super League yet, so I was due one.
Franca picked up the loose ball. Khan clipped the feet. So we saw a penalty earlier. The second one, I think, that Saeed took. Molina clipped his feet and got nothing. Khan does the same thing and gets sent off.
Can we appeal that one, please, Fifey, when you come round to it?
We will. So, Dimble, yourself. Oh, you want to see your stats first? Sorry. Any changes you would like to make, personnel or tactically?
Just stick a couple of arrows on the DMCs, and that'll do for now. And I might do something else.
Just a bit like that.
Yeah, that's a bit boring, isn't it? Actually, no. Can you bring Kaka on for Petrov and then swap in Vagahauer?
Like that?
Yeah.
We can indeed. As for yourself, Alf, I'll bring up the Asta stats, and then you can advise if you'd like to make any changes.
Yeah, just a bit of fitness, and they're all the 90s, aren't they? Yeah, so that's not looking too bad. Don't think I need to change. Louiso. Who have I got on the bench? I might make a change on 60.
Okay.
The one more carry on.
Carry on, says Alf. So that is what we will do. As Asta come forward again. Looking for a third. Churchtown now on the attack. They get a corner. Yellow card for Placente. Free kick to Churchtown. 61 minutes, Dimble. Would you like to make any further?
Yeah, just stick Vagahauer up front alongside Hussein and just put an arrow on Kaka, please.
Uh-huh.
And that'll do. Yeah, it's not going to happen, is it? It's not happening for me tonight.
As for yourself, Alf?
Yeah. This is the worrying time for me, conceding goals after 60 minutes. Although this time, fitness looks okay. How's the ratings? Okay. Yeah, no. Should we let's give the unpronounceable name a run out for Luizio. I know you want to commentate on it, don't you?
Yeah. Call him Ida.
Okay.
Maka just asking for a normal week of Super League. Is that all you want to do, Alf?
Sorry?
Is that it?
That's it.
Okay. Slow this one down earlier, just because it's the final game of the night and you're both on comms. Let's see if Churchtown can get back into this. They win the header from the free kick, but it's well saved. Viali coming forward. He's obstructed. Henman now on the ball. 68 on the clock. Churchtown still haven't made a dent in this deficit. Tamazi comes forward. Volodenko. Now Tamazi again, but Liverani gets a free kick. It takes it, fails to convert. Placente now. Franca. And it's 3-0. I won't subject you to much more of this, Dimble. 3-0 to Asta. The same score they beat Devils by with this team as well, remember? And Kaká with the opportunity. Fails to pull one back. Asta go looking for a fourth. And there is one. It's Zambrotta with his first ever Churchtown goal to make it 3-1 and the full-time whistle. And to be fair, Dimble, you created plenty considering how long you were down by 10 men, but Asta did enough to win the game.
Yeah, it's difficult to see the flow of the game with commentaries a bit kind of patchy on here, but it seemed like we was okay. We just weren't. Yeah, the 9 minutes, keep us sent off. You're going to fucking struggle. So it's one of them. Just move on to next week, I think. Although Asta at home is a game you need to be winning if you want to be a good team. So it's a bit worrying in that sense. And
yourself, Alf, how do you react to those match stats?
Yeah, it's just unfortunate for Dimble that he had to go sent off and it could have been a different game. But we'll take that and say it's a similar performance to what we've the Devils, so I don't think I'll be changing formation again.
What a start to the season as well. If this was Tato, he'd be nominated for manager of the season already. I think that's 11 points from the first 7.
Well, I did say that I finished 13th to get manager of the season.
Hussein, despite defeat, Hussein picked up man of the match, Dimble.
That's positive, and there's some decent ratings in there. Tomasi's been very, very disappointing so far, and he should be the one that's a guaranteed kind of 8 most weeks, and he's not doing it. But apart from that, I've got no complaints with the performances. Kaka's been a bit quiet off the bench, so he probably won't get a chance for a while. But apart from that, I've got no worries with Hedman coming in goal for Carlton. I've got no worries with that. I think Hedman's solid, or he should be at least. So yeah, it's just one of them nights, and Super League's a difficult place to get 3 points in any match, and I should know that.
Well, Steve Wright saying, "Night lads, up the unbeaten hill, kiss, kiss, kiss." Again, as echoing the sentiments of Dimble there, Alf, very impressive performance, and that's backed up by those ratings as well.
It is, yeah, very impressive. Emerson, Ambrosini, a couple of my key players. Franca, I think he's got 3 or 4 this season. I picked him especially for that role behind the front two because he's quite nippy and always likely to get penalties. So that's why I put him there. So and that's worked out.
It certainly has indeed. Congratulations, Alf. Commiserations to you, Dimble. That concludes the actions tonight. So let's go through the classifieds. Bostock Standing 2, Sloths 1, Churchtown 1, Astor 3, Fulchester 0, Dragons 3, Halls 2, Gazelles 1, Loco 0, Dudley 1, Burn 0, Leddersford 2, Devils 1, Haggis 2. That leaves the table looking like this. Haggis, top of the league, 3 points clear already of defending champions Dudley Hill, who move up to second despite still being unbeaten. But look at that as well, 16 goals already for Haggis. Very impressive from those 7 games. So we say Dudley Hill then 3 points further back. Fulchester dropped to third on 12 points. Then we've got Astor and Devils both on 11. Astor no slouches in terms of goals scored either. Halls jump in to 6th place on goal difference. We then have Leddersford, Loco and Bostock also all on 10 points. Dragons and Churchtown a point further back on 9. Sloths in 12th on 6. Gazelles on 5. And remarkably, after 7 games, Northern Burn still winless, still only the 2 goals scored, and still just the 1 point. Commentary is available for Sunday for anyone who wants it. And these are the games we'll be commentating on. We've got Dragons versus Sloths, Dudley Hill at home to Fulchester. We know how much it'll mean to Macca to win that one with the very sly digs Steve's been putting in tonight. Gazelles host Astor, tipped to be a 6-pointer at the bottom of the table, but it's second bottom versus 4th top. Haggis against their good friends at Bostock Stanley, Leddersford at home to Halls, Loco versus yourself, Dimble at Churchtown, and Northern Burn, normally an absolute cracker against the Devils. But to be fair, this is probably the one that Ian will turn it round in because Devils certainly are not playing like Hodges Devils were in previous seasons. So reaction first from you, Alf. Gazelles away on Sunday.
Yeah, that could be a banana skin. I thought they played quite decent tonight, and if Margie gets his players and formation right, it could be difficult. So I'm not counting my chickens on that one.
Okay, and away to Loco for you, Dimble.
Yeah, historically a very tough place for us to go, and it's a hard one to get a win from. So we'll look to do it, but I imagine Greavesy will look to change it again. He didn't really work for him tonight, so I don't know what to expect from him. But I think we'll be going pretty similar to what we did tonight, just hoping that we can get back on a good run again.
Absolutely. Well, thank you both very, very much for your appearances tonight. It's very much appreciated. Dimble, you rest up after that minor operation you had this week. And Alf, wishing you all the best as you continue your recovery, and best wishes to Oldham next year. Good luck, as I said, to Grimsby in the upcoming playoff campaign. I hope you all enjoyed Game Week 7. We'll see you again on Sunday for Game Week 8. But from Dimble, from Alf and myself at Super League HQ on Friday Night Football, good night.
Thank you.
Good night all.